Instagram is saying that I am live, and I'm putting the title in, posted. All right, now we're just making sure Instagram is actually live as it said it was already, and then we're gonna get into it. All right, people are coming in. So we are live here on IG on my right. We live on Facebook on my left. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin. I'm gonna give like 30 seconds to Instagram so this can populate a little bit, and then we get into it. Facebook, I appreciate the patience. It's only been a minute, but I appreciate the patience. Time is money, right? So as y'all checking in, tell me your name and location over there on Instagram. We about to get into it. We had to have a 3-minute delay because for whatever reason, Instagram ain't activate the way it was supposed to. Mozart Gates was good. ARB 14 was going on. I'm gonna give everybody like 10 seconds, then we get into this. I'm gonna introduce myself, then we're gonna go right into this material that we're talking about here today. Hope everybody's had a great Tuesday, is having a positive end of the month. We are in the 25th day of August. We about to go into the last trimester of the year. So I hope everybody's paying attention to that calendar. Me having a sense of urgency about what you're doing. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. I'm a former 9-year professional athlete. I'm the author of 27 books. I've given 4 TED Talks, and I've done a bunch of other things. I ain't gonna list all my resume right here, but I'm the owner of this company called Work on Your Game. I created this brand and this philosophy called Work on Your Game. It's all about taking the tools that you need to get into the top 1% of your profession, which is what I did as a pro athlete, which means I'm qualified, and I teach you how to do that in the business world. I teach you how to do it, every day in your business. I teach you how to do it every day in your life, getting into the top 1% in the way that you want to perform, and whatever that means for you in your life and whatever you got going on, your sport, your business, whatever. And for those, again, you can look me up. I'm all over the internet on all platforms. We'll talk about that later on. But the topic here today is Rashad from Toronto was good. We got Callie in the house as well. Ryan checking in from Virginia was good. Today's topic we talking about 6 skills that everybody's going to need moving forward. Doesn't matter what you do for a living, what you were doing, what you're planning on doing. Even if you don't have nothing going on and you don't even know what you're going to have going on, there are 6 specific skills that every human being is going to need moving forward in life. I'm going to tell you what those 6 skills are. I'm going to explain to you those skills or why they matter, because these aren't things that you've never heard of before, but I'm going to explain what the skill is, why it matters, how you can apply it, what you can do to actually start getting it. Then I'm going to tell you about these publications I got here in front of me, and then I'm going to answer any questions that anybody has. You can post in the comments section. So Daniel from Mississippi over there on Facebook was good. So let's get right into it without wasting any more time since IG slowed us down already. Number 1 skill everybody's going to need moving forward. You must learn to sell. This is the number 1 skill on this list. These are not necessarily in any order, but you could say this is number 1 skill because selling is your ability to persuade. If you want to influence another person, you want to persuade another person, you want someone else to do anything for you. You want someone to do something on your behalf. You want somebody to take their dog in the house so they can stop barking. You want someone to let you merge in traffic because you need to make that right-hand turn. You want somebody to buy your book or sign up for your service or come to your mastermind. You want someone to let you do something because they're blocking you, and if they give their blessing, you can go do what you need to do. Anytime you need to persuade or influence another person to do something that will help you, you are selling. If you fail at it, then you are a failed salesperson. When you succeed at it, you're a successful salesperson. And now that can be, you can look at that in many different ways. But the point that I'm making, the general point that I'm making is you must learn how to persuade. You must learn how to influence. That's what selling is. Sales is persuasion and influence. So whenever you hear people using those words, those are things that will teach you how to sell. If you learn how to persuade, you can sell. If you know how to influence, you can sell. Even if you're not selling a product or a service in exchange for money, if you're trying to get someone else to agree with your idea, to listen to your opinion, to read your blog posts, to like your post, like your photo on Facebook, you are persuading that person. You are trying to influence them. And the better you get at that, the better you will be at selling. The better you are at selling, the more you will get your way in life. If you really think about it, getting your way in life means what? It means getting the things that you want for you, which may not necessarily be what other people want for themselves. Sometimes somebody might do something for you that is not even that beneficial for them, but they're willing to do it for one reason and one reason only, because you were able to persuade or influence them into doing what you wanted them to do. For example, when you're a kid, you're 13 and your mom says, clean your room, because if you don't, you want to get your ass beat. She is persuading you. She has influenced you to do that. Now, she may not have made you a great offer. Maybe that was a great offer. You don't want to get your ass beat and you want to be able to go outside and play on the weekend. Then you probably want to do what she says because you know what will be on the other side of you not doing that thing. So persuasion and influence doesn't necessarily have to be something that the other person loves to do it. It's just your ability to do it, understanding your relationship with that individual in that moment. So when you're talking to somebody that you don't know, you might need to warm them up a little bit. You might need to find out what their needs are so that you know what you can offer them in exchange for what you want them to give to you. So you want somebody to give you $20, you got to give them something that's worth at least that 20 or a little bit more than that 20 so they see it as a good deal. Otherwise, you won't be able to persuade that individual. You must learn how to sell. You cannot sell, you cannot eat. The people who make the most money in this world are all salespeople. Steve Jobs is a salesperson. Elon Musk is a salesperson. Donald Trump is a salesperson. Now, who else? Name anybody who's wildly successful. Jerry Seinfeld is a salesperson. LeBron James is a salesperson. Nike, Phil Knight is a salesperson. All the top, Oprah Winfrey is a salesperson. All the people that you know of and they're publicly noted for being successful, they are all great salespeople. They sell in different ways, and some of them sell directly, some of them sell indirectly, but they are all selling something. The better you get at selling, the better you will succeed in life. Number 2 skill is the skill of communication. We're talking 6 skills that everyone's going to need moving forward in life today. The second skill is communication. Now, part of selling is communicating, because if you can't communicate to people what you're offering them or what you're trying to influence them to do, what you want them to do and what you're going to give them in exchange for doing it, then there's no way you can make a sale. Communication is your ability to take is a couple things. First of all, your ability to take what's in your mind, in your head, and get it out into the world so that other people understand your thoughts. And another part of communication is you understanding what other people are putting out into the world. When someone else is talking to you and you're listening to them, or at least hearing them, that is communication as well. A lot of people think falsely that communication is just how well you can speak and giving a speech and just having the gift of gab and being able to talk circles around other people. That's part of communication, and you don't have to do it that way. But communication is not just you giving what you have to say to other people, is you taking in what other people have to say to you and understanding it, interpreting it, and actually not maybe, but always reading between the lines. What is that person not saying that you need to understand? That is a communication skill. A person who's a really good listener can listen to somebody talk, notice what they didn't say, pick up on that, and respond accordingly in order to make their sale. But sometimes when you're trying to sell, influence, or persuade a person, they may not be saying certain things, but you need to know them. And that is a communication skill. So if you don't have that ability to read between the lines of what somebody is not saying, then you need to work on it. And understand that read between the lines of what someone is not saying is not assuming that you know something that you don't know. It's not saying, all right, this person gave me a dirty look, so they must be racist. No, that's not what I mean. That's not communication. That is you taking your own prejudices and fears and putting them on other people. Reading between the lines means having empathy, understanding the energy behind what people say, because 90% of communication is nonverbal. So as I just said, this is a skill of communication. It's not just you talking. It is how you talk, it's your body language, it's your energy, and it's other people, how they talk, their body language and energy, not just the words that they say. You must really, really, really develop the skill of communication. If you don't have it, you need to work on it now, because it's probably the biggest weakness that you have in your whole character. Number 3 skill. Today we are talking 6 skills that every person needs to develop moving forward in life. Number 3 skill, your ability to control other people's energy, your ability to influence other people's energy. So you notice the skill of influence has come up several times already in this list. Making other people feel good, making other people feel excited, making other people feel happy, making people laugh, getting people emotional, moving people to action through the energy that you're able to create within them through your communication, through your influence, through your persuasion. These are all skills that you will need moving forward, your ability to control other people's emotions. Why this one is so important is because in the world nowadays, you see that a lot of companies are slowly, gradually replacing human capital with digital capital, like technological capital. For example, when you go to Whole Foods now, in some Whole Foods, they got the self-checkout. And Whole Foods never used to have those, but now they got a few of them in every store. And I'm not saying they're going to eventually replace all the employees. They're not going to replace all of them. They're going to replace a good amount of them with that self-checkout. There's not going to be as many checkout counters with humans working there, so everybody can't have that job. They're slowly going to get replaced, not completely, but a percentage of them will be replaced. Nowadays, we see a lot of people and companies are having remote workers, right? Since the COVID, now people aren't coming into office buildings or doing big gatherings of people. So now people are working from home on the internet. So your ability to communicate with other people now is diminished a little bit, because when you're talking to someone one-on-one, you're picking up on all of their body language, all of their energy, how they smell, their size, all of these things you're picking up on because they're right there in front of you. When you're on a computer with somebody, you can't really tell the same way. You can't tell how tall they are. You can't smell how they smell. You can't feel a whole lot of the energy that's coming off of them. You can feel some of it, but not all of it. So your ability to communicate and sell and persuade and understand what another person is trying to get across, even if they're not saying it, you're going to need this skill even more, because you're going to be doing it through the internet now. Now you're going to have insight. You're going to have to be able to pick up on insights through other people that you won't be able to get in person. You're going to have to get it through the internet, which means you got to pay even more attention. You got to listen even more closely. You got to learn how to ask even more of the right questions. You got to learn how to listen in between the lines even more than you did before. You got to pay even more attention, even though it's going to be harder because you're on a computer and you got all kinds of distractions around you. Your phone might be in front of you. You got notifications going off. All these things getting in the way of your communication. Remember that communication is not just talking. It is also listening. So your ability to control other people's energy definitely controls whether you can sell them or not. Any of you who's a salesperson, you know you sell a whole lot better to someone when you have them happy and positive and laughing and joking than if they're serious, anxious, and fearful and suspicious. They're usually not going to buy nothing if they're feeling those energies. But if they're happy and positive, joking around and laughing, you could probably get that person to say yes. You can get them to sign that contract. You can get them to write that check. You can get them to hand you their credit card so you can make that transaction. You can get your commission. So learning how to control other people's energies, not even control it, let's just say influence other people's energies, is a key skill when we talk about selling, when we talk about communication, when we talk about getting your point across, making people feel good. This is the third skill that you need to make sure that you develop. If you don't have it, you need to start working on it, and you can read this book. This will help you when it comes to your interpersonal game. I got a whole chapter in this book called The Interpersonal Game. Get that right here. Shout out to Ari Fitz, said you finished 2 of my books. Well, I got 27 books, Ari, so you got 25 more to go. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Stay tuned, Ari. Now we're on point number 4. Here, for anybody who came in the middle, we're talking about 6 skills that every human being needs to have moving forward. Number 4 skill is your ability to entertain. Yes, your ability to entertain. Now, this is not the same as educate. Those are 2 different things. Your ability to entertain other people. Why am I talking about the ability to entertain? I mean, I wouldn't call myself an entertainer. I can be entertaining, but I wouldn't call myself an entertainer. I'm more on the thought leadership side, where I talk about mindset stuff. I talk about sports. I talk about business. I wouldn't put myself in an entertaining thing. But here's the thing. Why is being able to entertain people a key skill? Because as I just told you, when you put people in a position where they're happy, where they feel positive, where they're laughing, where they're joking, where they know they're going to feel better after being around you than they were before they came around you, they're going to want to come around you more. They will be attracted to you. We like going around and being with people, places, energies, things, and thoughts that make us feel good, that make us feel positive. This is why everyone, a famous comedian puts a new special out, everybody goes and watches it, right? The Dave Chappelle or the Chris Rock or Louis C.K. or whoever you think is funny, they put out something, you're going to go watch it because we know it's going to be entertaining. We know it's going to make us laugh. We like entertainment. This is why the TV shows on TV, you got the late shows, Jay Leno's, who's the other guys? I don't even know their names. Conan O'Brien, Dave Letterman, all these individuals, you know how much money they make compared to how much a school teacher makes, for example? Why is it that Jay Leno and Conan O'Brien and Dave Chappelle make way more money than your 3rd grade teacher or some high school principal or even any college professor? Why do they make way more money? It is because human beings would rather be entertained than educated. This is just the facts. Even though I'm going to give you some educational stuff, I got to give it to you in a way that's going to open your mind and you could be at least a little bit entertained and then also want the education. Not everybody wants to be educated, but everybody wants to be entertained. And people will spend way more money. I mean, think about the last time you went to the movie theater, at least when it used to be open, probably way before COVID. Last time you went to the movie theater, it was packed. There's 100, 500, whatever number of people in the movie theater. You ever seen that many people in a library? You ever seen 500 people packed into a library all trying to get space so they could read a book? Of course you haven't. Because people would rather be entertained and educated. So if you want to reach people, one of the quickest, easiest ways to reach another person is to entertain them. Now, what if your goal is to educate people? You don't want to be Dave Chappelle. You don't think you're funny. You don't have any jokes. How are you going to get in touch with people? Well, you can share something that's entertaining that will get their attention. Then you can give them the education on the back end. See, this is all part of the hustle. This is all part of the game. So if you want to teach somebody something, you can't just come out to them and say, hey, I'm going to teach you something, because out of 100 people, maybe 4 or 5 of them will sit around and listen to you teach. Most people don't want that. If they got a choice to do whatever they want, most people do something that's fun, funny, entertaining. So you must learn how to entertain, because that's how you get people's attention. That's how you reach the masses. If you want to reach a lot of people with your message or whatever it is you have to offer, you must learn to entertain them, because it's fun, it's easy, and that's what people want. You got to give people what they want. Number 5, skill. Today we're talking 6 skills that every human being needs moving forward. Number 5, you must learn how to teach. Now, hand in hand, entertainment. I just told you got to learn how to entertain people so that they feel positive vibes when they see your name. You must also learn how to teach people, meaning when you have something that you want to give people, you got some idea or some knowledge or some perspective that you want other people to take on, you got to learn how to take what's in your head and transfer it to another person, not only so that they heard what you said, so that they understand what you said, not only understand it, but understand why you said it so that they can apply it on their own. This is what a good teacher does. A good teacher takes the information that they know, transfers it to another person, and not only do you now know it and you can recite it, but you can actually apply it and you understand why you're applying it the way that you're applying it. That's what a good teacher does. If you don't have that ability, then you got to work on your communication skill, like we talked about earlier, which will help you in doing this. Your ability to communicate is greatly influences your teaching skill. You can't communicate, you can't teach. Teaching is that transfer of knowledge. Again, transfer of knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't mean that you write something down, somebody can read it and recite it. That's like when you're in school, you take a test, all you did was memorize the stuff for long enough, that short-term memory to pass the test, the flash memory. We're talking about the RAM memory, all right? The RAM that goes into the computer. Any of y'all who are tech geeks, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're not, what that means is people got to be able to do what you do without you around on their own. They can understand it, they can explain it, and they can teach it to somebody else. When you're a good teacher, your students can take what you taught and they can teach it to someone else. If all your students can do is regurgitate what you said, you're an okay teacher, meaning you're good at lecturing, they heard you. But if they can't teach what you taught to somebody else, you're not that good of a teacher. You want to become a better teacher, they got to be able to teach what you showed them on their own without you in the room. All right, that is number 5 skill, teaching. Help people understand what you understand. That's what teaching is. If you can't do that, don't bother trying to write a book or make an online course or being a professional speaker. You can't do any of those things if you can't teach people to understand what you already understand. Point number 6. I'm giving y'all 6 skills that every human being needs moving forward to succeed in life. Number 6 skill, discipline. Discipline is a skill. It is a choice, but it is a skill. Any of y'all who listen to my show, Work on Your Games, comes out every day on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google Play, etc. What do I say every day? This is the show where you learn the discipline to show up every single day to do the work. That is a choice. Showing up is a choice. Being on time is a choice. Being in a room where things are happening is a choice. Doing the things the right way over and over and over and over again consistently, even when it's boring, is a choice. This is all under the umbrella of discipline. This book right here, that I'm going to tell you how you can get for free in a minute. You see the subtitle? The Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. There's a reason why when somebody asks me which book should I read first, I say you need to read The Mirror of Motivation. Why? Because it's a book about self-discipline. This is a key skill for anyone who plans on becoming a professional at what you do. Now, let me be clear what I mean when I say professional. There's 2 definitions of professional. One definition is a person who gets paid for whatever they do for a living. You go to work, you get paid. Every day you get a check. That's being a professional. You're getting paid for it. The other definition, the work on your game definition of professional, is a person who shows up, gets the job done, and performs every single time, regardless of how they feel. That is a professional. And if you want to get paid like a professional, you must perform like a professional. Nobody's going to keep paying you for any job unless you are delivering consistently and they know what they can expect from you. They can start to predict that you're going to show up. They can start to depend on you and plan around your delivery. That's when you're a professional, not just because you're getting a check. So if you're getting a check and you're not delivering consistently, you're not going to get that. You're not going to keep getting that check for long. Now they're going to put a stop to that payment. So understand that being disciplined is one of the key aspects of being a professional. If you want to become a professional, you want to remain a professional, you must be able to deliver on a consistent basis. So any of you right now who is watching this and you have something that you love doing, you're good at it, but you're not quite a professional yet. Maybe you're not getting paid for it. You're not making money from it yet. Maybe you're making a little bit of money, but you're not making full-time money to where you could do just that full-time, but you want to. Understand discipline is the bridge. The bridge between being an amateur and a professional is what we call discipline. All right, so if you're an amateur right now and you want to become a pro, you need to figure out how to become disciplined. Actually, that's wrong. You don't need to figure it out. All you need to do is get this book, which I'm going to tell you about in a moment, and you can read it, and I'll show you how to become disciplined. And in this book, I got a whole chapter on discipline called The Third Day. Listen, I got all the material. I got everything that you need. All you got to do is pay attention. So discipline is the sixth skill, choosing what to do, choosing what not to do, and then doing it consistently, doing it strategically, and doing it cleanly, meaning you're getting things done efficiently. That's what a professional does. If you call a professional plumber because the toilet's broke, do you expect them to maybe fix the toilet, maybe they'll figure it out, or do you expect them to come in, fix it, leave, and everything's good? Of course, you expect them to get it done. Why? Because a plumber is a professional. You call a pro to come fix things. Yesterday, when the lights wasn't working in my apartment, I woke up yesterday in my condo, the lights weren't on. We called the maintenance. The guy came up here. He was here for 10 minutes. And when he left, the lights were back on. Why? Because he's a professional. That's what he gets paid to do. We didn't pay him. We pay the building. The building pays him because they know every time he goes to fix a problem, it's going to get fixed. That's what a professional is. If you want to be a pro, your level of delivery needs to be like that. It needs to be consistent, and there needs to be no variation. Like, people need to be able to depend on you. All that being said, I just gave y'all 6 key skills you need moving forward in life. I'm going to recap those points. If anyone has a question on any of the points that I just laid out, go write it in the comments right now. Write your questions right now in the comments. Keep it short. Make sure it's relevant to the topic. While you're writing those questions, I'm going to give everybody like 30 seconds. I'm going to tell you about this book that I just mentioned. This right here is called The Mirror of Motivation. The subtitle is The Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. Now, I've written 27 books. And when anyone asks me what's the first book they should read, it is always this one. When I talk about my books, I usually talk about this one first, or I might talk about this one, but I usually talk about this one. Mirror of Motivation, Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. Let me tell you why you want this book. This book is for anyone out there who has a goal. You have things that you want to achieve in life, and you are a hard-working individual. Now, you don't need the book for those two things because you probably had goals and was working hard before you even heard of me. Before you even came on this live, you were already working and you had goals. Here's the challenge for most people who have goals and work hard is that they ask themselves those two questions. What do I want? What do I need to do? Right? Work hard is what I need to do. What I want is my goal. But they never ask themselves question number 3. Question number 3 is, who do I need to be? What type of person do I need to become? What type of energy do I need to approach life with? How do I need to see myself in the mirror in order to take actions in a certain way, which will lead to a certain result? Because I think any of you who has been alive for even 10 years of life, you understand that when you change your energy, you change the way that you see yourself, even if you do the same actions as before, you will get different results. When you change your energy and you change your mental approach, not what you physically do, just change the way that you're thinking and do the same thing as before, you get a different result. If anyone here has ever experienced that, if you or you've seen it, and I'm sure you have, this is the book that will show you how to do it consistently. What did we just talk about? Being a professional means doing it all the time. Now, here's the great thing about this book. I made it free so that you can get this book as your entry point into the whole work on your game, Dre Baldwin universe. And the way that you get this book free is going to mirrorofmotivation.com. The book is already paid for. All you do is cover a small shipping charge. We ship the book to you worldwide, anywhere that you live. We got airplanes, we got envelopes, we got stamps, we got all that. So wherever you live, we will ship this book to you. It's called The Mirror of Motivation, The Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. The link is mirrorofmotivation.com. Just take out the word the. You got mirrorofmotivation.com. Go to that link. Tell us where to ship the book. We will ship this book to you worldwide. We'll send you confirmation, tracking, all of that. Everything you expect from Amazon, we'll give it to you, get it shipped to you worldwide. Mirrorofmotivation.com. There it is. Now, anybody who got a question, if you have it, go ahead and post it. And while I'll see if anybody got a question. While I scroll to the top. So if you got one, go ahead and post it. And I'm just going to read through them in chronological order. Let's see what we got. Jay Montez been riding since 4 years ago. That's what's up. Shout out to Jay Montez, 23. Everybody's been following for over a year. Bradley Anderson, what's good? Ari Fit _ Ari. I got you. I appreciate that. You just read 2 of my books. All right, you got to tell me which books you read. Arkansas said, I don't know what you're talking about. Arkansas, where you be getting these comments from? You just be coming with random comments randomly. Repeated performance yields different consistencies. All right, that one makes sense. Daniel said, what is your state of mind when you are sharpening your skills? That question is kind of vague, Daniel. I don't understand exactly what you're asking. If you could make that question a little bit more clear. I don't know what you mean. Right here, for those of you, I already told you about Mirror Motivation. This book right here is called Work on Your Game. It's where I took my whole philosophy, and based on the publisher's request, I condensed my philosophy down to 250 pages. The best 250 pages of my philosophy is covered in this hardcover book. Now, I'm going to tell you how you get this book. The way you get the best possible deal on this book is when you go to mirrormotivation.com and you claim your free copy of this book. As soon as you give us your information, where to ship the book and all that, on the very next page, we're going to make you a special offer that you cannot get anywhere else, where you can get both this book and another one of my books called the Mental Workbook, which is all about planning out your life, programming your subconscious mind so that you can be that type of person that you're going to learn about in here, how to be that person every day. I'm going to make you a bundle offer of this book and that book, the Mental Workbook, together at a special price that you cannot get anywhere else. That's only when you go to mirrormotivation.com. So that offer you can't get anywhere else. That's this book, Work on Your Game, where I took my whole philosophy, put it into 250 pages. So now I'm going to see if we got any more. Nobody else posted a question. So I'm going to wait like 10 seconds. I'm going to talk about Mirror Motivation one more time. And if nobody else posted anything, it'll be a wrap. Mirrormotivation.com, the self-guide to self-discipline. The Work on Your Game philosophy is 4 tenets: discipline, confidence, mental toughness, personal initiative. This is the first one, discipline. Now we also have books on those other 3 things that I said. So go to mirrorofmotivation.com, put in your shipping information, and we ship this book to you wherever you live. Question is, how do you sharpen your skills? That's the question. Daniel, after everything that you just heard me talk about, that's the question that you came up with. How do you sharpen your skills? You will read this book, Mirror Motivation. All right, that's what you would do. Then you go listen to my Work on Your Game show that comes out every single day on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play. And you can go to Work on Your Game University to get my daily master class, where I have over 1,500 hours of explaining how to sharpen your skills. Bradley says, don't need an intro. Love the stuff. I'm going to watch this again, and I'm going to get the Mirror of Motivation. Go to mirrormotivation.com to get this book and get the shipping. That's right. Bradley Anderson. I'm going to look out for your order. Mirrormotivation.com. You got it right. All right, everybody. That is it for today's live. I do these lives every single day. It's not always at the same time, so just turn on your notifications. It comes on when it comes on. I do post this on my feed and my feed on IG under the tab that says IGTV. So it's not in the main feed. I put it in the IGTV feed. It's also my Facebook/Work on Your Game, and I do post these on YouTube. But this video ain't coming out on YouTube till like Thanksgiving, because I got so many lives that I did that I got to schedule, and it's all backed up. So this ain't coming out till Thanksgiving, but it's an evergreen topic. So it doesn't matter when you pick this up, it'll make sense. The question is, so you cracked me up. That's what's up. He said, you meant me specifically. I tell you every day. I do these lives every day and tell you how I sharpen my skill. I'm giving you the game. I'm not telling you just stuff that other people do. I'm telling you what I do. Everything I talk about is things that I do. So if you listen to my show, Work on Your Game, go to Work on Your Game University. I got 1,500 hours of me telling you how I do the things that I do. Everything that I advise y'all to do, I do. All right, I don't advise anyone to do anything that I don't do. All right, so all this stuff that you get, and understand that I'm doing it as well. So everybody, that's that. I will be doing this live again tomorrow. Work on Your Game show every single day. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. That's usually the 2 everybody listens to. Go to Work on Your Game University. Get yourself in the game group membership. We got a brand new offer that we're putting together probably over the next 5 or 6 weeks. When y'all see this, game over. Work on your game. We out here. Dre all day.